Sometimes a week doesn't ask a person what they want. It asks how they see themselves. Sometimes the heart seeks validation, not love. Sometimes the soul seeks reality, not distance. Sometimes a relationship isn't just a name for closeness, it becomes a mirror. And sometimes a silent moment makes us understand that the world can see us as much as it wants. If we distance ourselves, a turmoil remains within. This week, from September 4th to September 10th, 2026, holds such a state. Mercury is currently in Taurus. Therefore, the influence of weight, stability, and reality September increase in thoughts, conversations, and decisions. On September 6th, Pluto returns to Aquarius, which can open the door to insights into strength, identity, the hidden truth within relationships, and our greater purpose. And the moon's last quarter in Aquarius on September 9th indicate that it's time to let go of some old ways, some emotional attachments, and some mental distances. That's why today's reading won't just talk about love, work, or destiny. It will also address the heart, integrity, identity, and the question that often begs the question, am I truly understood, and am I truly being true to myself? Today, we'll talk about Leo and Aquarius, a sign seeking to carve out its place in the light of the heart, and a sign seeking to recognize its true essence through the distance of the mind. But the true lesson for both this week September be the same: the apparent and the real aren't always the same. What's visible isn't always real. And what's real is often born in silence. This week, for Leo, could be about recognizing integrity and understanding the difference between attention and true love. And for Aquarius, this week could be about distance, identity, and examining when freedom and emotional distance become disconnected. On one hand, the light of the heart. On the other, the height of the mind. On one hand, I want to be seen, and on the other, I want to stay connected to my true purpose. But this week, the universe September be telling both of them this: appearing isn't enough anymore. Being authentic is essential. Let's begin the Leo weekly predictions. September 4th to September 10th, 2026. Leo, have you ever felt that you appear completely confident on the outside, smiling, composed, and assertive, yet somewhere inside, a question silently lingers: do people truly understand me, or are they just observing? Leo, your nature is characterized by warmth of heart, power of expression, and the ability to transform the atmosphere with your light. You don't just exist, you're felt. Your inner self doesn't just crave attention. It wants to be truly seen. September, your loyalty be recognized and your heart respected. But the real question this week September be whether the recognition you're seeking is truly a heartfelt need or merely a replication of a past lack. Between September 4th and 6th, Mercury in Taurus September bring you a more practical approach to work and public image. What was once merely a matter of emotion September now be considered with weight. You September realize that merely appearing bright isn't enough in some areas. Persistence is also essential. A project, a responsibility, or a public role September demand greater maturity. This same feeling September arise in the realm of the heart as well. If you're in a relationship, this week you September feel more strongly that you need consistent pressure, not just beautiful words. For you, love isn't just about praise. Love is a state where your heart doesn't shrink from its own light. Between September 4th and 7th, a special person's manner September become a significant signal for you. Someone September attract you with their warmth or show you through their inattention that attention and devotion are not the same thing. Leo, this week September reveal a reality for you. You like to be noticed, but your true need is to be understood. If in a relationship you've repeatedly proven your loyalty, your availability, or your love, but haven't received the certainty your heart craves in return, this week could become more intense. If you're single, you might be drawn to someone who is both intelligent and charming. But this time, mere superficial attraction won't completely satisfy you. You'll need to see if this person has warmth, consistency, and isn't intimidated by your light. And does he or she simply like you or appreciate your true personality? Pluto's return movement after September 6th, on your opposite axis in Aquarius, can deepen the joys of relationships. This can make it crucial for you to question where power lies within your partnership. Where is control? And where is mutual respect lacking or greater? A relationship can mirror your own silent needs. Meaning, what you're demanding from others isn't just romance, it's also about protecting your dignity. At work, this week is about balancing visibility and responsibility for Leo. You might get a chance to showcase your talent in a key position, but results will also be demanded. If you're employed, your present September be noticed by a boss, a senior, or a public-facing position. However, This week's true victory lies more in consistency than in courage. If you're in business, it's crucial to maintain a strong foundation along with your image. If you're a student, potential alone won't suffice, discipline will also be required. In financial matters, this week can teach you that status-based choices and value-based choices aren't always the same. Sometimes, people want to spend to feel powerful. But Mercury in Taurus can remind you that true confidence lies in the right use, not just in appearance. Health-wise, heart pressure, sleep, neck or upper back tension, and mental state can all take their toll. When a person tries to appear strong on the outside and avoids internal questions, the body silently begins to bear the weight. Therefore, rest and emotional honesty are essential this week. The last quarter of the moon in Aquarius, around September 9th, can bring you the opportunity to break an approval-seeking pattern. Perhaps you always wanted others to validate you. Perhaps you tied your light to the reactions of others. But now your heart September say, if my worth is based solely on the gaze of others, then I must first return to myself. Leo, this is a golden guide for you. The light you seek from the world, first see if it is also flowing within you. The love you seek, first see if you stand in a worthy place with your dignity and the recognition you seek. Don't read it into the language of the ego. Perhaps the real need is nourishment of the heart. Ask your heart a question, am I really seeking love, or do I just want someone to acknowledge my light? The answer to this question can take you closer to your true worth this week. And now, while one heart wants to be seen with respect, another heart September be trying to understand from a distance what the real truth, the real connection, the real purpose really are. Aquarius Weekly Prediction September 4th to September 10th, 2026 Aquarius, have you ever felt that despite understanding everything, you remain a little distant from your own heart, as if you have clarity in your mind, observations, understanding people's patterns, even sensing the direction of the future, but when it comes to your inner state, you take a step back? Aquarius, your nature is characterized by independence, vision, and the ability to see yourself in a broader perspective. You don't just live in the present, you also sense the future. You are not just a person, you are also an idea. But because of this, you sometimes hide your sensitivity behind a veil of distance. This week, the real question September be whether your distance is truly wisdom or just emotional defense. Mercury in Taurus between September 4th and 6th could make the question of inner peace and foundation important for you. You might wonder where I find true peace, where I feel grounded, and whether my daily reality is truly in sync with my larger vision. This week could show you that simply thinking big isn't enough. It also needs to be grounded in the body, heart, and everyday reality. Pluto's return to this sign, Aquarius, after September 6th, could open a deeper insight into your identity. This time could lead you to a more genuine purpose than superficial image. You might ask yourself, the innocence I take pride in. You might ask yourself, is it truly the truth of my soul, or is it a defense behind which I hide my vulnerability? This question won't be easy, but it could be very valuable, because in many ways, people simply avoid emotional closeness in the name of freedom, and in many ways, distance is considered maturity. However, it's often a veil of unresolved feelings. If you're in a relationship, this week could be a test of your emotional presence. The other person September demand more of your presence. They September feel that you understand a lot but are less open. And it's also possible that you'll discover that the distance you thought was balance was actually hindering intimacy. This week, love isn't just about space for you, it could also be about honesty. If you're single, you September be drawn to someone who is unusual, intelligent, and challenges you mentally. But this time, you'll need to consider whether this connection is just an idea or actually has emotional reality. Between September 4th and 8th, your own attitude toward a relationship can explain a lot. If you're repeatedly delaying messages, consider this. Whether you're keeping things in your mind or simply analyzing your heart's feelings, this pattern September become more visible this week. It's not necessarily that you don't want love. It's possible you just want to protect your soft side. But the question now is this protection truly keeping you safe or is it taking you away from true closeness? This week could be a time of vision for Aquarius in work and practical life. Regarding a team, group, network, or long-term plan, you September realize that some things need to be rethought. An idea that was once exciting September now demand testing. A social circle that once seemed supportive September now demand scrutiny. And a future plan that was merely a concept September now require foundation. If you work, innovative ideas are good. But this week, it's crucial to translate them into practical steps. If you're in business, aligning your strategy with ground reality will be beneficial. If you're a Talib, shifting from abstract thinking to daily discipline will be crucial. This week, true success lies not just in being different, but in being effective. Financially, thoughts about home, comfort, or long-term security September increase. You September realize that freedom is meaningful only when the foundation is secure. Therefore, spending, saving, and practical planning September lead you to a more mature approach this week. On the health front, unexplained stress, sleeplessness, mental fatigue, overthinking, and emotional dampness September be impacted. When one processes everything through the mind, the signals of the heart can become muted. Therefore, body awareness, quiet time, and inner grounding will be crucial this week. The last quarter of the moon in Aquarius around September 9th could be a personal release point for you. An old self-image, a defense mechanism, a pattern of "I am just like this" September feel weak now. And this could be this week's blessing. Because when an old mask softens, only then does the true identity begin to breathe. Aquarius, this is your golden guide. Call your distance wisdom only when it includes honesty, not just avoidance. Call your insecurity freedom only when it includes the truth of the heart, not just defense. And call your future vision purpose only when you awaken your present heart to it. Ask your heart a question: am I truly free, or am I merely standing at a safe distance from my vulnerability? The truthful answer to this question could bring you closer to your true reality this week. Leo and Aquarius, this week can reveal the subtle difference between heart and mind. It can hold a mirror between the apparent and the real. This attention, authenticity, distance, and wisdom can draw the true line between identity and true worth. Leo must learn that true self-worth precedes identity, and Aquarius must learn that true honesty precedes detachment. If Leo gives truth to their light, and Aquarius gives emotional sincerity to their freedom, this week could be an identity reset for both. For some, a relationship will become a mirror. For others, a quiet realization will come. For others, it will be time to let go of an old emotional habit, and for others, this week will reveal the true voice of their heart for the first time, so clear that it will be impossible to return. If you're a Leo, write Wakar in the comments, and if you're an Aquarius, write reality in the comments, because this week the stars aren't just telling you what might happen to you, but also revealing what truth within you no longer wants to remain silent. See you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves and your friends.